And it's green, so I think we are a go. We are currently live.
All right.
I'm going to pop out the chat here just in case if anybody gives us a holler.
All right. Welcome to episode 135. This episode 2, we talk about Lakers rise again into the live action Spiderverse, and Anton. I totally didn't write a headline for you, Anton. So what's up? I just realized that right now as I was reading the headlines.
All right.
I wrote and Anton and then nothing after that.
Okay.
I'm Alan Flores.
And I'm Anton Duong. All right, Alan. You're editing
Worst
this week.
intro in 135 episodes.
What an intro. What an intro.
Sorry.
All right, since you don't have any questions for me, you go ahead and start.
All right, so I finally decided to buy another Apple product, mainly because my previous version of this product was pretty much dead.
Oh, well, your phone... Okay, never mind.
I got the Pros. The AirPod Pros.
Why now?
Huh? Because my AirPods are dead, and it annoys me. I've been wanting to buy new ones for a while, so I don't know. I just wanted
You're
to
not going to wait for the 2?
Nah, I'm fine.
Yeah, because I think from what I heard,
no, late winter, right?
No, I heard that they lowered the price recently, right? How much did you buy for? Did you buy with the new pricing?
$230.
$230.
I don't know. They're doing.
Yeah, I can't remember the new pricing. I know they dropped in price because there's going to be a new one coming out soon. Because I know there's going to be a Apple event this week. I think it's on Tuesday or something like that.
Yes, but every speculating it's gonna be more for the phone.
Yeah, it's gonna be for the phone, but usually because the thing is that they're not including the headphones with the phone anymore, so they're gonna have to give some type of alternative. So I was thinking that they probably would implement some news about the new AirPods. Yeah, just my speculation, but it looks like you had something on it. Is it engraved?
Yeah, they did the free engraving.
Oh,
I'd never done
cool.
the free engraving before, so I just put my name on it. But it's funny because after I ordered it, probably the next day, one of my friends like, "Oh yeah, I did the engraving too." I'm like, "Did you put your name too?" Because I felt kind of basic just putting my name. Like I don't know what else to put. And she said, "Oh no, I put my name too." Well, technically, I put my my Instagram handle. I'm all like, that would have been better. Because it's still, it still identifies to you, except you're not,
well, it kind of makes sense because, like, for example, if you lose it, for example. Yeah, if you lose it, Alan Flores, there's hundreds of Alan Floreses out there.
How dare you?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is why I couldn't get the Alan Flores for some websites.
All right, so since we're doing week updates and you don't have any questions for me, I'll go ahead and update myself. So since we last recorded...
I'm going to update myself.
Yeah. So since we last recorded, I went ahead and got an extra monitor. So I have a monitor to my right here. You won't be able to see it on here. I'm just pointing fingers at directions right now. Dell has been my favorite go-to for monitors. I've never really went with any other brands except Samsung for work. But Dell has always been my go-to. Do you have a Dell also?
I do have a Dell now, but I was almost going to buy a Lenovo. Lenovo's like decent.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to match my old Dell monitor, which I had for probably 5 or 6 years now. And I tried to find the one that's closest to this model. And, I mean, they kind of look similar. It's just that the old one has a bigger bezel than the new one. New one's a little thinner.
Isn't that annoying?
Yeah, it's very annoying. Yeah, it's very annoying. The screen size is exactly the same. It's just the bezel.
At my old office, I got not a brand new monitor, but they were going to give me an older, my original monitor that I had at my old desk, and then they were just going to find another one that was a newer model, but not the newest. And I look at it side by side. I was kind of like, it kind of bugs me. Can I trade it? They're like, well, we don't have any other like other newer ones to replace your old one. I'm like, I'm fine downgrading the new one. Like, I'll trade with somebody. I just want it symmetrical.
Yeah.
So like for my old office, I purposely had two monitors that were like two generations behind just for symmetry purposes.
Yeah. Hey, as long as it works and you're getting your work done, that's all that really matters. Yeah.
Exactly.
For me, on the other hand, because I do design, I have to have
Yeah.
like a monitor calibrator to get the right colors.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is that with these LCD screens that are not glossy, is
Mm-hmm.
perfect for that. Uh,
The map.
yeah, the matte. A lot of the screens now, when you buy a Mac, it's always glass, and a lot
No, no,
of
not Mac. Matt.
yeah, matte. So I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about like Macs,
Oh,
MacBooks.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So when you buy MacBooks now, it's all glass, and it,
Mm-hmm.
it, it kind of ticks off a lot of designers and a lot of video people when they made that transition, because for the longest time they always offer on the regular screen
Yeah,
without
I
the
remember.
gloss for a while, and then Apple just said, F it, that looks better. Like, to
Just
your eye it looks better, but for a lot of people who
for in
work with color,
production.
then they're
Yeah.
they're pissed off. Um,
Um. Well, it also don't you pretty much have to like turn up the brightness to the max to make sure you get the color right
Yeah,
for
so
the glass
basically,
ones?
there's this little triangle thing. It's by a brand called Data Color, and it has a sensor in there. So your
Mm-hmm.
screen would do like a bunch of different colors, and it calculates and calibrates the temperature of each color, and then
Okay.
it balances out. And the thing is that you have to calibrate every 3 months or something like that to get
Just because
the
it's
yeah.
because the screen might burn or start to
Hmm.
diminish a little
Yeah,
bit.
over time
Um,
it happens.
does it auto calibrate? Like, do you plug it in USB or does it just give you like a reading as you're trying to adjust it?
Yeah, so you plug it into USB and
Okay.
you droop it over to your monitor to the very
Mm-hmm.
top, and it just sits on your monitor in the middle.
Okay.
And when you hit the button, you see like a bunch of like little lines, and it figures out where the sensor is. So you see
Mm-hmm.
like these lines in it. Like, let's say you put the actual device on the right side of the screen. It will
Mm-hmm.
automatically detect that it's on the right side. I don't know how it
Mm-hmm.
works, but it looks kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, so that's that. And then I also got a quieter keyboard, because every time I type while recording this podcast, you hear clicky click 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 click.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? Even when I'm playing back the audio,
Hmm.
I kind of like kick myself like, oh, why am I typing? I'm like, nope, nope, that's Anton. That's Anton typing.
Yeah. So you can hear. Look, I'm pressing a key right now.
Okay, that's not
It's
bad.
very quiet. Yeah, so I went fancy. I got the Razer keyboard, and it has those chromatic colors on the background. It's backlit, so whenever
Mm-hmm.
you're talking, Alan, it has like a kind of like an equalizer thing happening in the background.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So
Do I affect the colors?
yes, you do. Uh,
Nice.
it's not red. It's blue.
Ah. All right.
Yeah. So,
How much was the
anyways,
keyboard?
that's my week update. I mean, pretty much stuff with my kid, but I talk about that all the time. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Actually, I do have a question for you. I almost forgot. Now I
Mm-hmm.
looked at my bottle.
Okay.
So this weekend I voted early because they did the mail-in ballots.
Okay. I did
Uh,
that too.
yeah, I was gonna ask you what's going on with Florida? Do you like request it? Is it automatic?
If you requested by county, so
Okay.
I don't know if that's the same thing over there.
No, and California was automatically sent to us,
Oh,
whether we requested
nice.
it or not. And it's
Well,
up to us if we want to use it or just go into the voting
yeah.
poll place.
See, that's the thing about California. Florida here, this is a Trump state, and Trump is registered to vote here. So
Yep.
he's trying to do whatever he can to win. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like cheating in a way. I know that he controls a lot of the stuff that goes on during this presidential campaign,
Mm-hmm.
and especially in Florida. Like, I drove down the street here,
Mm-hmm.
and all I see is just Trump supporters standing outside almost every day.
You know what? It's coming out right here too. There, I see on the at the corners of some intersections, Trump tables like booths.
Hmm.
The ironic part is the two that I saw, they are in front of closed down businesses. So I'm like, is that really the image you want? Like, they closed down the Walgreens on Golden West in Westminster.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they closed it down earlier, actually, not earlier this year, last
Hmm.
summer or whatever.
So it's where the
Um,
Aldi is, right?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And there's they put in that parking lot, they put a Trump booth there to buy support Trump stuff, whatever, and the money goes to the campaign. And there's another one on Beach, which is again in front of closed business. I'm like, really?
So here's the thing, like, there's a lot of Trump supporters out there, and especially in Lake Mary, they put a sign up. They say, "Honk if you're for Trump," and I don't hear any honks at all.
They're like, oh, must be one of those silent honks.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was just curious what the thing was in Florida.
Hmm.
All right, Anton. Ready and get to news?
Yeah. Let's get into news.
And actually, I changed it up a little bit. I
Okay.
was like, you know what? These are all news stories,
Okay.
but the ones we start with are like the headline news. So we're gonna say
Okay.
headline news.
Okay.
All right, number one headline right now: Lakers win their 17th NBA championship. That is
Yes.
one reason why I started my workout late today, because I wanted to see how the game ended.
Yeah.
So congrats to the Lakers making LA proud. That was how's Florida? Oh, okay, even though you're not in Miami, uh, was Orlando getting into it? Did you see any anything's going on in Florida? Like any promotions for the NBA games?
Well, they play in the bubble, like 40 minutes away here.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh,
No.
really? Is that close?
Yeah, dude. They play at Disney.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they're inside this
Oh.
bubble
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah,
they're
yeah.
not allowed out or in.
Yeah.
Once you're
No, I
there,
know
you're
about the
there.
bubble. But no. I know about the bubble, but I forgot it was at Disney.
Yeah, it's at Disney. They basically. I know that they had these new sports facilities where they have a lot of people come and train, and especially they have practice games and stuff that they held private, where you can come and watch the players play. So you get like a baseball field there for people to practice. They have an NBA court. Yeah, I think Disney has a stake in the NBA, right? Because I mean, they opened up the NBA experience here in Disney Springs.
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Um,
anyways, yeah, I'm happy that Lakers won. LeBron did good. He did well.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm sure he's happy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but everybody's extra proud. I think the initial headlines I started seeing were Lakers win, and then within 20 minutes of that, I started seeing the other pictures trending about it's good to see that the Lakers won this one for Kobe the year he died and stuff like that. Like it was the win was in honor of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I also know some of the players were rocking the Kobe jersey, and a lot of the fans in the stands.
Hey,
Well, not in the stands, but
props
in
to Miami, dude. They no one saw that coming. No one saw that they were able to
be a
make
shutout.
it.
Yeah, everybody thought it was gonna be a shutout because even in the finals, they were down a lot of players.
Yeah,
A lot of
they
players
were.
were down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just kept going down. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's not gonna go past game 4," and yeah, game 6. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
There was one of my friends going, they're saying, "Don't jinx it! Don't jinx it! We're supposed to win this early. Now we're in game 6. Don't jinx it!" All right, that's on. Let's move on here. So movie theaters. So since the pandemic started, movie theaters have been reluctant to close, mainly because that's their business.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been fewer and fewer movies coming out to theaters, and then there was a point where there was no new releases, so some theaters were doing um, rescreenings of hits. So Jurassic World, Back to the Future, I think Goonies for some of the places. Um, and now that the the pandemic has lasted this long, and theaters are trying to fight for congressional support, there's kind of a split in the world of cinema. While AMC and Cinemark plan to continue to stay open until until they can fully open,
Hmm.
Cineworld and Regal have closed all locations temporarily, but they have closed completely though.
Yeah, same thing with the ones that here in Orlando or Florida in general. Yeah,
Hmm.
they announced that they're closing them down. It's kind of sad to hear, that. Um,
Yeah, but is it permanent or temporary for Florida
I
or
think
the ones?
certain ones are permanent because they.
I'm assuming the smaller ones, the independently owned ones. Yeah.
Mhm. Regal,
Um.
surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And AMC has come out and said that their deal with Universal is what's keeping them confident in staying open.
Hmm.
So as long as was it 2 weeks, they get to first dibs on screening the movie for 2 weeks before it
Hmm.
gets to get released on demand. And I'm sure there's some back end money that they talked about. So I think as long as AMC stays open and they show something in their theaters wherever they can, where they can open safely,
Hmm.
they get money. So that's good for AMC. I'm not sure what Cinema. I think Cinemark is just being stubborn.
Yeah, Cinemark, Tinseltown, same brand.
Yeah,
Hmm.
That's Century Theaters also, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right. So
so
and then other types of movie experience. What's going on there?
so there are a lot of movie screenings, especially in uh, in the states, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of drive-ins right now because of what's going on. Do you see this as a trend eventually, like for bigger releases? Because it seems like there's a lot of movies that are up for Academy Awards, but they need to be on a screen.
Mhm.
So if that's the case, drive-in screenings, they don't know if that's going to be considered as a movie screening or not. So that's something that they're trying to figure out how it can be um, allowed for the Academy Awards.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. Because I know that
I
they
understand
do those Walmart movie screenings,
the
and
parking lots.
if they do any of the bigger movies that are up
Hmm.
for Academy Awards.
Well, no. So I understand why drive-ins kind of diminished over time. Like I think what the early 90s when we started seeing a huge decline in them. And then by the 2000s they're pretty much already gone. I think there's only like one or two within the LA Riverside area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because there's limited capacity. You're not really charging, well, at least to my knowledge back then, they weren't charging per person, they were charging per vehicle.
Yeah, depends on what kind of
Um,
vehicle you have too.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, people were in the cars, they're comfortable, so they're not likely to go to the concessions. They're probably going to sneak it in, which is harder to do in the traditional movie theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Possible, but a little bit harder to do. Um,
Just need a backpack.
but for but for theatrical release consideration though, or qualification, I don't see why it wouldn't count. It's still going to wide release. It's still a ticket to in some sort being sold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get what the hesitation is there.
I think the hesitation is that it's not like a full movie experience. It's kind of like it's kind of like you're forcing the movie to happen.
But the thing is, forcing a movie that that's. But the thing is, so back then they had the speakers, the walk up speakers. You pulled in and they had a little speaker thing, whatever. They just
Mm-hmm.
hooked in your
You don't
car,
get the
whatever.
full surround sound.
What? No, no. Now they're doing what the gyms do. You turn your card. They give you a code for your phone
Hmm.
to text, and you can play it through your speakers, or a station to play to turn your radio to play the audio.
See, the radio thing works.
Hmm.
I don't know how, like, for example, like if there was yeah, I don't really know how that works. I don't want to get into it. Probably get pretty complicated, but they probably have something for it. But I think they probably still do the radio thing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so now it's more up to your car's stereo system. Which, I mean, even if you have a stock system and it's a newer car within the last, say, 10, 15 years, it's a good experience.
Hmm.
Better experience if you have a better sound system in your car. But I mean, can you imagine watching Jurassic Park with a subwoofer, like a good kicker?
Yeah. Well, it's in well, sorry. It's in FM frequency, so you're only getting so much, but still, FM frequency, you can get pretty good bass.
No, but I'm saying there's some that they give you a link to a site where you can link to the audio from your phone, and
Mm.
then you just connect your stereo system via Bluetooth or something,
Oh
or
wow.
plug it in.
Okay.
So it just depends on the theater. There's different variations. But I'm saying, like, the technology has gotten better, so it's not as janky as an experience as it was before. Speaking of which, though, Hulu is doing a Hulu Ween experience in LA,
Hmm.
and they're doing kind of like horror movie drive-in, but it's kind of to promote their movies and their streaming stuff. So it's free. However, you have to request a ticket, and it's pretty much luck of the draw.
Hmm.
Um, so what I did, I selected Hocus Pocus, the screen for Hocus Pocus, because that's one of Martha's favorite movies, especially around Halloween time.
I'm gonna
So
put
I'm
a spell on you.
nice. So I haven't heard back yet, but I'm hoping that we get one of those tickets to go watch it.
Hmm.
But they had other ones. They had like some screenings for their original movies coming out this week, as well as some like other ones that they got, the license to stream this month.
Hmm.
Also playing at a movie theater. So I think that's a good idea. It's free experience promotion. And if at the very least, it gets people to know, like, hey, even if I didn't get a ticket to the drive-in theater, I can still watch it on Hulu.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
All right. Moving on here. So the other big headline, and this is something that people have kind of been piecing together as announcements come through. So Jamie Foxx has been announced to be returning to Spider-Man to play his role Electro in the new Spider-Man 3 movie with Tom Holland.
Hmm.
So he hasn't done this since Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man.
Hmm. So
So
what I saw
there's
was
go ahead.
Jamie Foxx will not be blue in this movie.
Yes. Yes. I know that was the other thing. It won't be blue. And then there's some other. I mean, they've already have Vulture. They have Scorpion, which they teased at the end of Homecoming. They're bringing in Electro, and maybe Venom. Like, if they can sneak that in, they make a deal with that. It is Sony. So that was kind of like, okay, this feels like a Sinister Six movie. Like, it's little pieces, but like, how are they gonna make it work?
Hmm.
Then earlier this week, or late last week, they announced that Benedict Cumberbatch will be making an appearance as Doctor Strange.
See, that's the thing. Like, how crazy would it be if they mixed up all of the old Spider-Mans into this
Uh-huh.
movie?
Uh-huh.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah,
Exciting.
and I'm like, and I don't know if I dreamt it or what it was, but I heard like Andrew Garfield would love to come back as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have, uh, have an older, Spider-Man from, being played by Tobey Maguire, and then have an alternate universe Spider-Man played by Andrew Garfield,
Hmm.
and then you have the current Spider-Man with Tom Holland.
Hmm.
Uh,
That's gonna be
so
awesome.
I think, yeah, exactly. It made me, bring in Miles. Um, but yeah, so that's something people are kind of like piecing together, going, all right, all the things are kind of there for Into the Spider-Verse live action movie. Are they really doing this, or are they kind of just teasing us?
Well, it's kind of cool to, let's say, for example, okay, just putting it out there. What
Hmm.
happens? Because I know that Sony still owns a property. Uh, what happens if they finally say, "Hey, you know what? Marvel can have Spider-Man, but we'll take the spin-off of the
Oh,
different
so they
multiverse of it."
got it.
Yeah.
Which that was another thing too that they're trying to build. They're trying to build a symbiote universe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have Venom. They have Carnage. They're gonna have a Carnage movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other symbiotes out there that they can create into this. So I mean that'd be their own property. Something that we haven't talked about in a while, but uh, what's his name? The freaking vampire being played by Leto. I'm tip my tongue. Can't
Vampire.
remember now. Yeah,
Morbius.
Morbius. Thank you. I was like, yes, vampire.
I
Like,
think vampire.
yeah,
Yeah, Morbius.
yeah, Morbius too.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's the one thing. But thanks to COVID, I completely forgot about Morbius.
Yeah,
That
I
was
just
supposed to
did
be one
too.
of the big, yeah, that was supposed to be one of the big summer releases too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. I think fall. Actually, I have a schedule here. Do I see Morbius? I don't see it on here. Let there be carnage. No. All right. Anyways, so yeah, those are the headline news right now. So come on, Spider-Verse. All right, that's on. Ready to get into streaming?
Let's get into streaming.
All right, Anton. So before we started recording, you sent me something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it.
All right, so there's a little teaser clip of an animation, Jurassic Park animation to be exact, and it
Mm-hmm.
pokes fun at them trying to find a new or an old species that is coming back, and it's no dinosaur, but it's Jurassic Park people looking at these species, and it is Animaniacs.
Yeah, I love it. Like that's such a Spielberg thing to do. They spoofed the scene from Jurassic Park as the near the beginning where they're driving up in the Jeep
Mm-hmm.
and they see the Brontosaurus and the other dinosaurs out there and they're all kind of like stunned by it.
Yeah.
I it's funny. Just when I thought I'm like, oh, like at first I was like, oh, okay, that's cute, and then I'm like, all right, that's good dialogue. Okay, that fits too. All right, that's a good twist. The dialogue never felt like it was being twisted too much. It
Mm-hmm.
was just like slight tweaks that you can see it. You know, that's what they said in Jurassic Park, but also what they were referring to in reference to the Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's another thing I forgot. This is something they teased. We talked about a couple months ago, but we didn't know. We didn't have a release date. We heard that there was greenlit, and that Spielberg was 100% behind it. But that's the last we heard of it until that teaser. So I do like that the insurance guy was replaced by Hulu, and the Hulu guy saying, "Oh, we're gonna make millions."
It's funny that you mentioned that too. Jeff Goldblum has been referenced twice within the last 24 hours for me.
Oh, talking about the him reenacting the what do you call it? His iconic Jurassic Park pose.
No, I'm talking about last night on SNL. They had a skit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the opening
All right.
skit.
First of all, we gotta talk about so SNL. Since the last time we recorded, SNL has done their first two episodes since the pandemic started,
Yep.
or come back since the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
started. Um,
Last week was Chris
and
Rock. This week was Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one for the intro they spoofed the presidential debate. And now they did the vice president debate, and holy crap, dude! Like, it's the same problem that they had last campaign, where they really don't have to write any jokes. Like this is that
It
is
is the joke. I told my cousin, I was like, dude, if you watch SNL, it's basically a summary of what exactly happened.
yeah, that's the thing. Like I feel like they did a better job with the vice presidential debate,
Mm-hmm.
because it was really more of the feel and the vibes that the candidates were giving,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the presidential debate where it was almost verbatim. They were just quoting them
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I showed my brother the presidential SNL the presidential debate SNL skit, and he's watching, cracking up. I'm like, that happened. Yep, he said that. Yep, that happened. It's like, what the hell? Um, but yeah, when I saw the fly for the vice presidential debate, I'm like, that's it. That's the topic for the rest of the week.
Did you know that I think on the Biden website they sold fly swatters and it sold
Yep.
out?
Yeah, they said
That's
right after the
hilarious.
debate right after the debate they started selling it, and they sold out. Um, I mean, that's smart. That's just quick thinking on the Biden team
Yeah.
to make some quick money there.
Yeah, whoever did
Uh,
that, they deserve a raise.
right? Little bump, nice position in the White House if they
Mm-hmm.
win.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, dude, that it was just good. It's just good writing. But much as I love Jim Carrey as Joe Biden, which he's done an amazing job as him. Uh, what's her Maya Rudolph
Dude, she's
as
spot
Kamala
on, man.
Harris.
She is spot on.
She has that vibe. That's the thing though. Like, it's not even the look; it's just her vibe. I'm like, yep, that's her.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, no, I love it, dude. Like, I got a little burned out with SNL doing uh political stuff, whatever. But these weeks have just been. I think because we got a break from it for a while,
Yeah.
I've actually been enjoying these last two intros.
Yeah,
All right,
I
so
think the writers are pretty good too now. Like, they got some pretty good writers in the back there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they got some good
Um,
skits.
and I'm just glad that they stopped doing the things via Zoom. Oh, the other thing too that I was surprised that apparently even the audience were surprised. Um, the people that attended the live recording of the SNL shoot got paid,
Oh, really?
and it was a loophole because apparently there is no. I forgot what exactly it was, but audience members have to be compensated for attending live events, and I think that's more to discourage live events. Like, people aren't making money off of it. Um, so it's something that the audience members apparently didn't know. They were just there. They were still doing the social distancing. The entire audience got tested, did the rapid test before the shooting. Um, and then as they were walking out, they got a check for 150.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's pretty
nothing
cool.
like that. I'm like, dang, people like line up and like fight for, like, those tickets for SNL recordings
See,
because it's a
the thing is that for SNL tickets, you have to get it in August. It's a random
uh-huh,
drawing. Not random
uh-huh.
drawing, but you have to show up and whatever they have, that's what you get. And
Yeah.
if you show up the day of, you have to show up at 5 a.m. If anybody traded in their old ticket that they didn't use, then you
Mm-hmm.
get that seat. But it's very limited. I heard some
Mm-hmm.
people, some days, like if it's like a really popular person, they'll probably have like
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 spots. But if it's not a popular person, they'll probably have like 20.
Yeah.
So that's what I've heard. Because when I was in New York, I wanted to go to a taping on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So what's the rules and how do you get tickets?
Yeah. How do
So
you get the tickets or whatever?
if you're a hardcore SNL fan and you just want to get good seats or just, locked in,
Mm-hmm.
August. And if you are a diehard fan and you're willing to like kill yourself in the rain or kill yourself in the cold,
Yeah, the New York, the
yeah,
extreme New York weather. Yeah, either extremely cold or extremely hot.
yeah, then
Uh,
you got to do that.
yeah, and that's the thing though. Like, SNL is such a gamble. Like, it's like it's a life check. Uh, what's it called? Bucket list. There you go.
Hmm.
It's a bucket list item to see like something iconic, like SNL being recorded or something like that. But the actual performances are a gamble because I'm like, all right, there's a chance that the the musical performance won't be somebody I like or know. There's a chance that the host is somebody I won't like or know, and then there's also a chance that they can just have an off week when it comes to the sketches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things like you just want to be there to say that you were there, but whether you enjoy it is another thing. Yeah, exactly. All right. No, I was just checking to make sure I was still recording. I don't know why that occurred to me.
Okay.
All right, Anton. So something else here. So we talked about Saved by the Bell getting a reboot on Peacock. Now we got more information. They actually set a release date. So the new season or the new series will be available on Peacock on November 25th.
That's pretty soon. That's coming up.
I know. So many things are coming out this fall and winter. And I'm like, time to start hibernating.
You still have vacation time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually taking a week off pretty much in November and a week off. Actually, I'm taking off the majority of December because I'm taking a random week off at the beginning, and I'm taking from Christmas week all the way until the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there are some things that won't be around, Anton. Glow, the Netflix original series about women in wrestling, has been canceled. So
canceled.
What the hell
I'm trying trying not to hit the mic.
Oh, okay. Like I don't know what gesture you gave me there. So the thing with this one is the people were kind of the cast and the producers were kind of confused because Netflix gave the green light for the show to film their fourth and final season.
Mm-hmm.
Now they kind of got like not even a last minute notice. I think the producers got notified through like Twitter or through like press releases.
Worst way to get the news.
Well, it's one of those things that I think Netflix gave the green light because like, all right, this is one of our hit shows, flagship shows. Let's finish it off strong. And then when they did the analysis for the cost of doing the filming safely during a pandemic, they were like, more expensive than we're willing to pay right now, because it is, it's a very close contact series for the actors.
Yeah,
there's no really gain. It's wrestling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of testing. It's a lot of risk involved if somebody gets sick and they have to. I mean, yeah, it's one thing if they get sick and they get seriously ill, but it's another thing. It's a big inconvenience to production when somebody gets sick and they have to halt the production altogether.
Because I know that rapid testing, like if you want to know within like 24 hours or a few hours, it's $175.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So imagine doing that, and then also, or the alternative there is also filming in a bubble, which now you're paying for housing and making sure that people aren't, coming and going as they please and keeping the production safe. So I think Netflix just said, not worth it. We're out.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the pandemic, South Park has been radio silent throughout the whole COVID stuff because, they can't really film. But they decided that the world needs the pandemic special. That's right. Randy Marsh released a strain of weed called the Pandemic Special because he cares.
So I think that's the thing about South Park. They always take advantage of what's going on. I know there's a Y2K one. There's like a they had a bunch of different ones. I can't remember. Oh, the Canadian one, where it was something about the border. Yeah, they had some crazy specials. Yeah, especially when there's something like this going on.
But it's funny because they're taking advantage that, strains of weed can be, they have the craziest names. So the whole premise of this, or the way that the writers were talking to the audience, was through Randy talking about his gathering the whole town and saying, guys, I know these are rough times, and we at what the hell's the damn alone. This is not supposed to be, or not intended to be, the start of their new season. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it touches on a lot of things that we've gone through during COVID. So they have Cartman that has fully embraced the Zoom world for school. there is, the antisocial aspect of it. There's the people, getting greedy from, uh, or not getting greedy, but making benefiting from the quarantine stuff. Uh, and then they link it back to when Randy went to China last season. So I'm like, holy crap! Like the writers could not have not like scheduled this better.
Yeah.
Like seriously, the season after the where Randy went to China, there is a virus that we think originated from China.
Wow.
Uh,
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
so it's a must see. I think it's on Hulu now.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not on Hulu, it's definitely on the Comedy Central app.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah,
I
so
gotta check
check.
that one out.
Yep.
All right, so I started streaming CB Strike, Lethal White. I've talked about this before. This series is that mystery detective novels
Mm-hmm.
by Robert Galbraith, which is J.K. Rowling. So
Mm-hmm.
Lethal White was the last book that came out, I think, last year. I finished that book. It's really good. And they finally came out with uh, they shot new episodes, which is for this book, Lethal White. It aired in, I think, aired in BBC.
Okay.
Yeah, it aired on BBC in August, and then it ended in September. I think there was like 4 episodes total.
Mm-hmm.
So they aired it in BBC in the UK, but we won't get it in the US until probably like two more weeks. But it
Mm-hmm.
won't be out on BBC. It'll be on Cinemax. So
Do they do BBC usually port? Does BBC's shows usually port to Cinemax, or is that just a deal they made?
just a deal they made. I think it's
Oh, okay.
certain shows, but I think because CB Strike is one of the popular shows, they
Mm-hmm.
need something premium.
Okay. So
Yeah.
either HBO or Cinemax kind of thing.
Hmm. Yeah. So,
Okay.
anyways, so far I love it. Lethal White is about like this time these detectives have to go undercover, acting like someone that they're not supposed to be, to get
White chicks.
information about a murder that happened years and years and years ago.
So is this a comedy series? Series
It's a serious.
drama?
It's okay. So imagine. Um, well, we'll probably get this later. Um, Sherlock Holmes,
Mm-hmm.
but more realistic, more
Okay, so
modern, more
not as
realistic.
hyper real. Not
Yeah.
as hyper real.
So
Okay.
this is like, I guess in a way it's kind of like a noir style, but not so classic noir. It's more like modern noir.
Okay.
So,
Like it's not grungy for the sake of being grungy.
yeah. So the cool thing about this one is like, the way that they do research to find certain clues and everything is with modern technology. So basically going on Facebook, doing research and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, it's I'd say it's a modern Sherlock Holmes if you're into that.
Okay. I might be, and we'll
Hmm.
find out.
Yeah, if you don't want to read the books, I recommend watching the show because the show is good. The main two actors, amazing.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of books, Will Wheaton teased that he has a copy of Ready Player 2.
Well, he read the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an
Uh,
audiobook version of it, and he read the whole thing. The whole thing is on Audible.
Ready
it,
Player 2 already?
yeah, it's going to be releasing on the same day as
Oh,
the
okay.
book. Yeah.
Well, because he just posted a picture of the not a book, but um either a script for reading or a manuscript version of the book. And he just put, I might get in trouble, but I was doing homework. so I thought I'd share.
That's what he's doing. He's recording it right now because
Yeah.
that's the manuscript that he needs to read for the unabridged version on Audible. Plug.
So I'm like, so close, so close. Yeah, I know, for real. Like so close. It was early November, right? I think like November, like 9th or something.
Yeah, before we started recording this, I was watching the New York Comic Con clip of the panel that they just had. It's where Will Wheaton is talking to Ernie Klein about the new book. And
Oh, Ernie Klein. Wow, so casual. You mean Ernest Klein?
no, he goes by Ernie.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. Wish I was in that cool club. I wish I was in a first like casual name basis with him.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to movies.
All right, Alan's being dramatic. All right. All right. Movies. Starting off here, Avatar 2. Anton, are you still excited for the new Avatar movies? Are you still
That
in?
was supposed to come out like 10 years ago.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Are you still in? Are you still excited?
I am still excited. I still see the
Okay.
pictures. I am excited.
Okay, because James Cameron has announced that they are 100. The filming is 100% complete. That being said, it's still currently slated for December 2022. So it makes you wonder how much freaking CGI work is going to go into this movie still.
A lot.
Yeah. And knowing James Cameron, he's a perfectionist. He will
Tell
be
you
tweaking this.
I think they already did the CGI before shooting the movie, because when they shot the movie, everything has to be in CGI because they're using these cameras to see the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can see them doing the CGI modeling, but not the final things. But I did hear that the actors had a better time, easier time imagining the film now that the original Avatar came out and they kind of see what the world looks like and what they're imagining. They have something to work off of. So I mean, I'm hoping that the acting. I mean, nothing wrong with the first Avatar's acting, but I'm hoping that this kind of boosts up how integrated the actors feel in that world. Something else here that kind of surprised me. The Lion King live action movie is getting a sequel.
I heard about that too.
Yeah, and they've already had a director, Barry Jenkins, to helm this movie. I just feel like there's no way they're gonna go forward with this. Like I think right now they're just testing out to see what kind of concept or script
is it going to be
develop.
Original, or is it going to be the same sequel that they had?
I'm trying to remember because the Lion King animated one did have a lot of spin-offs. I think they had a Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
Yeah.
And as well as some other shows that came out of it. There might have been another straight to movie or straight to video movie that came out of that. I
actually enjoyed the Timon and Pumbaa cartoon that was on TV.
I never saw it.
Good.
That was on Disney Channel, right?
No, I think it was on regular channel. I think during that time, I think it was on ABC.
Probably ABC, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what they do with this one because the way that the Lion King was received, I didn't think they were gonna go on with this one. I feel like some of their other live action movies have gotten better reviews and acceptance. I mean, with this, I would expect to say Mulan 2 coming in 2024.
Julie actually likes Mulan 2, and I'm like, there's a Mulan 2?
I never saw it. I know there is a Mulan 2, and I forgot what it was, but I never saw it. I don't even think it's Ming Na that voices Mulan in the second one.
All right, so since we're talking about Disney, we got Pixar's Soul coming to Disney Plus. How do you feel about that?
I completely forgot about Soul. It's one of those movies that we heard about earlier this year. They teased us about it. Well, teased us with it. And people were kind of into it. They said it was kind of a Inside Out kind of feels to it, but more musical. And
I love the trailer. The first trailer they had, the jazz music, amazing.
Yeah, it got a lot of buzz. I
Mm-hmm.
remember I was leaving the office and people were talking about it. But then it stopped. And then one of my coworkers was telling me saying like, "Oh, are you excited for this movie?" And I told her, I forgot about it. And then I started thinking more about. I'm like, well, it's around this time that during the summer movies we would have started seeing the trailers for the stuff coming out during the fall and winter. But
Mm-hmm.
without summer movies, there was no excitement. There was no promotion that we usually have. So I understand why this fell under the radar for me.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I don't know. I'm wondering if they're gonna do the same pricing model that they did for Mulan. I wouldn't be
Hey, it
surprised.
worked, so I don't see
It
why
worked.
not. Yeah.
People, that's the thing. People hated on it, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Soul. I mean, it's Pixar has had very few failures, at least none that come to mind, and it's
Oh.
even if people are more
Oh yeah. Well,
few failures.
few.
Um, but I'm saying that it's one of those things. So Mulan was a success because they had a big surge that first weekend. Soul, I think, is not going to have as big a surge as Mulan did at the first weekend, but it's probably going to be good enough that it's going to get good word of mouth, good reviews, and then the next weekend is going to have a better weekend than Mulan did.
Yeah, and plus,
That's
like,
my
I
prediction.
think if Soul comes out during, like, the holiday season, it's gonna stretch
Uh-huh.
out through the whole entire season. I think that's the thing
Yeah,
about, like,
that too.
movies that come out during the end of November. It stretches all the way to the end of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
especially in the comfort of your own home. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um.
You don't need to leave the
Yeah. No. That.
house.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, I
All
gotta
right,
pull my.
so I'm gonna skip ahead here since we're already talking about Disney. We have a Space Mountain movie coming out. Well, not coming out, but it's moving along. It
Mhm.
it's happening. So, how do you
It's
feel
happening.
about Space
Just
Mountain
accept it.
movie?
Just lay back and accept that it's happening.
Just let it happen. Um, how do you feel about all these movies? Oh yeah, Jungle Cruise was supposed to come out this year, right? It's supposed to
I
come
think
out
yeah.
during the summer.
I think it was supposed to be an August release. Yeah.
Yeah. So until I watch that, I'll judge Space Mountain because Tomorrowland that movie didn't do too well. So I mean, I like the movie. A lot of people didn't like the movie.
Yeah, so as of last week, or actually over a week ago, Jungle Cruise was supposed to be released in 2020 and it is now slated for July 30th of 2021. So they're really just redoing the same schedule they were going to do this year.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean it didn't surprise. I mean, it surprised me that they're doing um, Space Mountain movie, but also at the same time not too shocked about it because Disney has been very verbal that saying that their next series of movies is they want to make movies for their existing rides. So they did with Jungle
Autotopia.
Cruise. Oh God, the car. They already have cars. Uh,
Autotopia.
no, no, but come on, they're gonna do like one for Matterhorn. They're gonna do like a freaking.
Um,
They're gonna do like an Abominable Snowman.
See, they don't have Matterhorn
Matterhorn.
at Disney World, so that's the only thing that kind of falls back. They need something more universal that is more universal. uh,
You mean broader, not
yeah.
not in the style of Universal Studios.
Yeah, so something that is at other parks in other countries in other, parts of the world. Um,
But
yeah, I
I,
don't
but also
think.
that's some of their older rides though.
Mhm.
Like some of their newer ones, they're building it off existing properties. So
Big Thunder
I mean,
Railroad.
yeah, I mean, but at the same time that the Disney World one that's kind of based off the Seven Dwarfs.
Mhm.
So and then the one here in California doesn't really have a Snow White theme to it.
No.
It's just you're just going through a mining tunnel. And then California Adventure, that's all based on existing properties. So Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Uh, I mean, are they really going to do a Goofy Sky School kind of thing? No.
No. Oh,
So I
I
think
did tell you that we're getting a different Guardians ride here in our
yeah,
at Disney World.
they're doing this Escape, right? Guardians of
No,
the Galaxy
no. Galaxy Rewind.
Rewind.
Yeah, so this is a roller coaster, indoor roller coaster.
Oh, that should be fun.
Oh yeah.
I can still see them doing the kind of like the hyper jumps
hmm
that they showed in volume 2.
hmm
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Definitely gonna have some Space Mountain themes to it though.
hmm
All right.
So I think next
Uh,
time when you're gonna be here, they're gonna have I think Ratatouille ride and then that Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
nice. Yeah, we definitely have to plan that out. I've
hmm
been promising Martha Disney World for the last year, and pandemic didn't
Hey,
help.
it's cheaper now.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
All right, Anton. Let's move on here to the first movie we want to talk about, Blackbox. So Blackbox is on Hulu. So it's about a man named forgot his name here. Anyways, after losing his memory, or his wife and his memory in a car accident, a single father undergoes an agonizing experiment treatment that causes him to question who he really is. So since it's October, Martha wanted to watch some horror movies, uh, but I'm kind of a wimp, but also burned out on horror movies because it's always the same thing.
hmm
So this one's kind of our middle ground because it's more suspenseful mystery, some sinister aspects to it,
hmm
and it's one of those movies that you think you know the answer, but it still throws in a few more things. And one thing I appreciated which is why I wanted to talk about it, was even after me and Martha figured out 95% of the twist at the end,
hmm
we were still sucked in because we were invested in the characters. Um, and I think that gives a lot of credence to this. And props to the girl that plays his daughter, which she couldn't have been more than 8 years old. That little actress has so much charisma and almost like an adult in a kid's body. It's kind of weird. Um, but she carries so many scenes that just makes you want to root for the dad to get his shit together through the experiments. Are you pulling it up right now?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah. So this is one of the movies that I don't want to talk about too much, because I don't want to give away the the surprises in here. But I will say it is a movie that has a lot of twists and turns. Um, it's also one of the movies that you want to pay attention to the little details because then they all start piecing together. So I love the way that this movie pieces together the whole story. I don't feel cheated, and I honestly didn't hear about this movie until it showed up on our list, that I posted on our social media of October new releases for this different streaming services.
So, did you watch the movie with low expectations and exceeded your expectations?
Uh, I kind of went in neutral
hmm
because I mean I didn't really hear anything bad about it. But I also didn't hear anything about it. So I was just kind of curious. This is, I mean, I would give this one a 3.5, 4. So like a C plus B
hmm
minus.
hmm
Um, it definitely gets a few bonus points there because it's free if you have Hulu. So yeah, it's good. It's a good one. Nolan, that's the guy. Oh, that's the other thing too. The main character's named Nolan. So every time that they mention his name, I keep wanting to say Christopher Nolan. Like there's one that's like the guy's brother's trying to wake him up. He's like, hey, hey, and I'm gonna hit him all, Chris, and he goes, Nolan. Damn it, that's right. It's not Nolan. It's not Chris. It's Nolan.
Yeah. All right.
And we,
So, okay, you're a Mia Jovovich fan, right? Resident
yes,
Evil.
yeah, yeah,
All right. So she's in a new franchise that is also video game related too. Uh, it's a Japanese game also. It's Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter is probably one of the most biggest game that is sold on mobile and console. Um, it's an RPG game. All you do is just go around and kill monsters. Um, awesome, awesome game.
yeah.
Played a couple of them. So movie wise, I don't know if it's gonna be a great movie or not, but Paul Wes Anderson is directing it, so it's the same director as Resident Evil.
Oh, it's a go-to.
Yeah. So, and it's Mia Jovovich. It's got a pretty fun cast. It's got Tony Jaa from Ombak and Fast and Furious. So,
Mm-hmm.
kind of excited to see, some favorite people that I grew up watching, which is Mia Jovovich.
Oh,
First time I ever seen
okay.
her was in The Fifth Element.
Yeah, the orange hair chick.
Hmm. I went to the movie to see
Um,
that, so like that's crazy.
Dude, did you get it the first time you watched it? Because I had to watch it again in our teens for me to appreciate that movie a little bit more.
Okay, so I watched that movie when I was in fourth grade. That's how long ago
I'm
that was.
trying to see what year it came out. It came out 1997.
Yep.
So yeah,
I
we're just
still
like
remember
nine.
going
Yeah.
to the movie theater. I think it was the Century Theaters in
Uh-huh.
Orange. Yeah, so that's the first time I saw her, and then fast forwarding a couple years, seeing Ombak, which is a Thai movie. You don't see real action as much in the modern day because everything is like close up camera action where you fake punch and it looks like it's real. Yeah, and seeing this guy who doesn't know how to speak English and now he speaks perfect English in like big Hollywood movies. So it's kind of exciting to see.
Mm,
So,
interesting. Yeah, I just looked up the images for Monster Hunter, and I think I recognize that iconic sword.
really.
I think so. I think I know what you're talking about. Which game you're talking about.
Hmm.
All right, Anton. Let me see here on our list. Okay, cool. All right. So let me just wrap up our movie segment here. Since I mentioned it last episode, I watched Enola Holmes. So the synopsis is when Enola Holmes, Sherlock's teen sister, discovers her mom is missing, she sets off to find her, becoming a super sleuth in her own right as she outwits her famous brother and unravels a dangerous conspiracy around a mysterious young lord. Uh, so I'm not. I don't hate Millie Bobby Brown, but I feel like she's kind of overhyped because of the popularity of Stranger Things. However, I love her in this movie. I think this is the perfect role for her because she can be both very serious and smart, but also has a bit of kind of like a sarcastic or knowing smile and nod to the camera. Uh, so the it's so this one I kind of broke my habit of not looking at reviews before we talk about on the show. But I was curious because um, this movie has very strong feminist themes.
Hmm.
I mean, just from the trailer, you get that. It's the Enola meets her brother Sherlock and what's his name?
Minecraft.
Mycroft. Mycroft. I keep saying Minecraft. Mycroft. Um, in the train station, and Mycroft is very like, why where are your gloves? What stuff like where's your hat and stuff like because very for that time that's how women dressed. They weren't really flashy and stuff like that. There's a specific way that proper women were supposed to dress.
Yeah, it's an
Um,
accessory,
yeah, so,
popular
you don't show.
accessory.
Yeah, at that point, me and Martha were just kind of joking. I'm like, oh, I can see her elbows. um, no, but I do like that this movie focuses on her, but also doesn't ignore the fact that Sherlock is a thing. It's almost like in the Avengers, you kind of think like, okay, I understand that there's this big thing happening here with one character, but if it's such a big thing, where's everybody else? uh, so they do tie in Sherlock, but Sherlock is not the lead for this movie. I like how they develop her. It's so the reviews that I saw, people were mad that it was a feminist movie, which first of all It's not over the top feminist. I think what's it called? That new Charlie's Angels, directed by Elizabeth Banks, was over the top feminist.
Hmm. I think so
Like
too.
that's like whacking you over the head with all the subtle and not so subtle themes and jokes and stuff. This one, I think it was played right with the times that it takes place in. And then I started reading more about the stuff around the show. Apparently, Netflix got into a legal dispute, or they're currently in a legal dispute with uh, the estate of what's his name, the writer of Sherlock Holmes. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Damn it, Sir. Hold on.
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah, there you go. Arthur Conan Doyle. They're in this dispute with this estate because I never knew this, but one of the reasons we don't really hear about Enola in movies is because uh, when Arthur Conan Doyle started introducing her into the novels, Sherlock turned into a more humanized character. He wasn't as cold and calculating as he is in his other novels.
Hmm.
He has a heart, and that is apparently a line that the estate draws between what is public domain and what is still under their copyright or their
Hmm.
property. Which I never knew that. Like that's why we get so many Sherlock Holmes movies, is because all the ones that uh, the Baskerville Hounds, all the stuff like the more known stories are with just Sherlock. Those are public domain, and I think the rights to the books and stories that have Enola in it, or a more humanized Sherlock in it, I think the copyright ends or the protection ends in 2001, 2002.
Mm.
So the families are trying to like fight Netflix right now for releasing this movie. It's so much genre on this, but I mean, it doesn't take away that I like this. I like this movie. It's a fun movie. I think it's done well. Apparently, Millie Bobby Brown was was a producer for it. So it shows you, I think they started this movie from the ground up.
So funny that you talked about, that you see her as overhyped.
Hmm.
Um, when Stranger Things first happened, I was like, who is this girl? So I went back and saw like earlier footages of her acting.
Hmm.
She's good. Like she's a little girl, probably 9 or 10, probably no, 8 or 9. I think
Hmm.
she was on like some regular television show. I think it was like CSI or something like that. And
NCIS.
yeah, NCIS. And
Hmm.
she was pretty damn good. Like she's like,
You know what?
yeah.
I might have seen that episode. I just can't recall it, but I
Hmm.
probably have seen her in the.
Yeah, so seeing that, I was like, okay, she's probably gonna have a really good career. Um, and I think it's kind of hard for her to grow out of Stranger Things because people see her as Stranger Things. But
Hmm.
that Godzilla movie didn't work out
Oh
for
yeah,
her
King of the
to break
Monsters.
that to break out of
No,
that show.
because she was 11 again.
Hmm.
She the exact same kind of like seriousness, like that stare that she gives. That's what people were kind of making fun of during the trailer for it.
Hmm. It's movies like this that can break her shell.
Hmm.
I just hope that she gets bigger roles with this
And,
as a set piece for her.
you know what? In saying that, I bet you that's why she was one of the producers for this movie,
Hmm.
is because it gives her an opportunity to play a different role, a different character.
Hmm.
Um, and I like it because it's similar to Robert Downey's portrayal of Sherlock. It's breaking the fourth wall a lot. So her little moments when she breaks the fourth wall with the camera, she has just the right amount of charisma and nods or looks where it's not cheesy, but it's a quick glance at the camera, and the audience can catch that and know exactly what she's thinking with just a look, which I think takes a lot for an actor to portray.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I it's a fun movie, dude. I totally recommend for you and Julie to watch this. I think and then it's not that many. I don't think there's any swearing. It's mild violence, so I think it's fine for Elias.
Okay.
All right. I give that one 4.25.
That's pretty high for a straight to Netflix movie.
That's a B. That's a B plus or B,
Mm-hmm.
a B down the middle B.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Anton. Is that it? Are we done here?
I think that's it.
All right. If people want to give us a high ranking, how can I do that?
They can do that by going to our website at www.the2oc.com and purchase a sticker, t-shirt, maybe a hat. And if there was something that we talked about on the show or on our show notes, maybe our Instagram, social media, something, gives a little link in the description, and it gives us a little kickback when something is purchased on Amazon.
Nice. As you mentioned, you can follow us on social media at the 2OC on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you're not clicking one of our links, you can also keep track of what we're talking about, new topics coming out, new news stories, or just funny memes that we find that we think you'd enjoy. So it's a good way to get in contact with us. Or alternatively, you can send us an email to mail@the2oc.com if you feel there's a more personal connection that way.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/the2oc. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from, and you can use it on your iPhone, Android, Kindle player, MP3 player. So, since I was talking about Stevie Strike, Lethal White, I am currently listening to the controversial sequel called Troubled Blood, and it is so good. It is really good. This is really, really gory. This one, this very, very gory.
Do they give sound effects?
No, but I think the person that reads it, he's really good. Like, he has a different voice for each character, and it's
that
very
range
easy
is
to follow.
so important.
Yeah.
I mean, the other one I would recommend, but it doesn't come out until November 24th, is Ready Player 2. So maybe add that to your list. All right, Anton. I think that's it, right? Nothing else? We're good?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. For the 2OC, I'm Alan Flores.
And I'm Anton DeWong.
See you guys.
See you.